Hello everyone. Today on Speedy Quick Science, we talk about vaccines. Are they poison or protection? Although vaccines are one of the most heavily regulated forms of medicine, people have always been arguing against them. Several chemicals known to be toxic, such as mercury, aluminum, and formaldehyde, exist in vaccines. But the amounts found in vaccines are so small and harmless that you usually take in more of these each day through the food you eat and the water you drink. Thimerosal, which is a compound of mercury, existed in vaccines as a preservative for several years, but was later taken out to ease public concern, although the concern was baseless. Aluminum exists in vaccines to boost the effectiveness, but we take in 250 to 400 times as much aluminum each day through food and drink. Many parents across Canada have begun to opt out of vaccines based on misinformation, which has caused a rise in childhood deaths to nearly eradicated diseases like rubella, mumps, and measles. Some people believe that these diseases were less common because of advances in hygiene and sanitation, although the drop in vaccines and the rise in these diseases show that they are obviously correlating. The largest reason, or at least the one that has got the most press, is the belief that they cause autism. The first paper to say this has been proven false multiple times, and 10 out of the 13 authors who wrote it revoked their statements and took their names off the paper. Since we know that vaccines do far more good than bad, this raises the question, should vaccines be mandatory in Canada? Well, to an extent, they already are. In Ontario and Manitoba, children are required to be up to date on vaccinations in order to enroll in school. The exception to this is if they are unable to get vaccines, if they are undergoing chemotherapy or other complications, or for religious or ideological reasons. Basically, this allows parents to choose whether or not their children get vaccinated. This means that hundreds of children across Canada are going to school and getting sick with diseases that they could and should be immune to. My proposal is to make vaccines mandatory to everyone that can be vaccinated, regardless of their parents' belief in vaccines. This way, irresponsible and misinformed parents won't be able to purposely endanger their own children. The goal of this is to raise the herd immunity percentage to above 95%, where doctors will be able to confidently control or even eradicate a disease. In 2015, only 89% of 2-year-olds in Canada were up to date on vaccines. This means that almost 1 in 10 children are in danger of lethal diseases that they are able to be protected against, but aren't due to their parents. All across Canada, we've been having outbreaks of diseases that people are able to have protection from, but people choose to endanger themselves and their own children. So who shares a stake in this problem? To put it simply, all of Canada. When people refuse vaccines, they put their child and everyone who isn't vaccinated around them at risk. Vaccines don't just affect you and your child, they affect everyone. This also affects doctors, as if they can get 95% of people vaccinated, they believe that they can eradicate diseases like mumps, polio, and rubella. So what can you do? So what can each of us do to make these miracle needles mandatory? You can share this video, you can try contacting anyone with any political power in Canada, or take personal action to help spread the message of mandatory vaccines. This has been Speedy Quick Science, signing off.